I hope you all people are all right. So this is my first interaction with you uh, after this COVID outbreak. So today I will start with another topic, that is the disease of the skin. And along with that, another system, the respiratory system will be started. So because this test of this grand test, the coming, that will be respiratory system and the skin. Both these stuff will be included. So we'll try to finish the skin and this respiratory system. Respiratory system will be catered by the Dr. Nagila. So coming to the skin is the largest organ of the body. So before 150 was thought that it is only the protective covering like the fur on animals. But after that, the scientists they they know that it is a mechanical barrier for the injuries or the protective covering for the delicate organs within the within the within the body. And about few decades ago, they have come to the conclusion that skin is a complex organ. So it has multiple roles, not only the protective or the mechanical barrier. So other function like this immune function. So immune function is, for example, it is the Langerhans cells. They which are present in the epidermis. They play part in the immunity against the foreign antigen. Similarly, it plays the endocrine function. So, like this, the synthesis of the vitamin D3, this whole calciferol, under the influence of the UV rays, and it has sweat gland and this sebaceous gland, so which try to maintain this external body temperature. So, in addition to that, for example, there are some systemic diseases in which the examination of the skin give us the clue about the what are the underlying disease. So, skin should not be considered as a useless thing, which is not important. For example, in diabetes, in the jaundice, the skin color becomes yellow. In diabetes, there are also changes in the skin. Similarly, in the amyloidosis, similarly in the Addison disease, there is a pigmentation of the skin. So the skin also give us clue about the systemic diseases. You must be thinking that you are thinking only of the examination part of it. But being a doctor, you should think that this skin is it has multiple function. आप इसको सोच रहे होंगे कि जी ये हमें एग्जामिनेशन में तो इसका क्वेश्चन कभी आता है कभी नहीं आता, थोड़े से एमसीक्यू आते हैं, तो यू विल नॉट गोइंग टू गिव इट्स इम्पोर्टेंस. But as a doctor, you must know about these feature of the skin and its diseases. So, as I always tell about you that before starting any system, you you must know about its little about its histology and its function. So first we will read little about this histology of the skin. So skin is composed of this two basically two this structure, this epidermis and the dermis. So epidermis, as you know, it has the different layer, as you see in the screen in this micro photograph. You can see this stratum corneum. It is the topmost layer. Then is the stratum lucidum. This stratum lucidum is not present in all part of the skin. It is especially present in this arm and the sole. Then is the stratum granulosum below this corneum or the lucidum. So granulosum we call it because it can contain the granules. When you see it in the high power, you will find the granules within the cells. Then downward is the stratum, this spinosum. So it is also called the squamous cell layer. And these are the multiple layer, not a single layer. And below that is the rhizalis. Rhizalis is the layer. It is composed of these columnar cells. From these cells, these squamous cells, they migrate upward toward maturation as a statement. These squamous cells. So नीचे cell जो basal cell के layer, these are columnar. जैसे जैसे they grow upward, they become the schema. और जब ऊपर चले जाते हैं, they become the carnified or carnified. So keratin is formed there. So the dermis, we can call it as the upper dermis or the lower dermis or the papillary dermis or the reticular dermis. Papillary dermis वो है जो papilli होते हैं इसके skin की. Papilli are these are the down growth of epidermis. So that portion is called the papillary dermis, and then is the reticular dermis. That is below this papillary dermis. So dermis is usually composed of these collagen fibers along with the blood vessels and some other cells. Then we see in the next slides. So as I told you before, it is epidermis is divided into four layers. You can see on the screen this horny layer, granular layer, Malpighian layer of the stratum spinosum, then is the basal layer. जो external plus the lucidum layer that is immediately below the corneum, that is present only in the palm and the sole. So coming to the sum of the cells, this comprising this epidermis, these are keratinocytes, or the cells that mature from the basal layer, the stratum corneum, and their function is related to form a barrier to the barrier. So they form the barrier, they are a protective covering. So they also have secretory function. They secrete prostaglandin, leukotriene, interleukin, and induction of the vitamin D by this UV rays. So these are the some of the substances which are secreted by these squamous cells. Then in the epidermis, basal layer, there are also the melanocytes. They comprise about 3% of the cell. And these are the dendritic cells. Dendritic cell means they इनकी process छोटी-छोटी निकली होती हैं जो spikes like. So उनको हम so they are called, because of these spikes, they are called the dendritic cell. So they are derived from the neural crest and located into the basal layer. And they produce melanin. So melanin is a sunscreen also. So it protects the skin from the UV rays which are coming from the sun. So UV rays, आप जब इसमें melanoma पढ़ेंगे, skin cancer. So UV rays, they are the cause of this skin cancer. इसमें इनका रोल squamous cell में भी है, basal cell में भी है, और इसमें melanoma में भी है. और ये मॉलिक्यूलर लेवल पे एक्ट करती है यूवीएस। दे एक्चुअली दिस न्यूक्लियो जो साइट जो जो रिपेयर पाथवे है, दे अफेक्ट दैट पोर्शन, so they will lead into then the unprotected growth of these neoplastic cells. So melanocyte, they have mainly this protective function, or they are also called the sensitive. Then are the Langerhans cells. These comprise almost more than 4% of the cell. So Langerhans cells, they are part of this immune system. So Langerhans सेल को आपने कंफ्यूज लैंग एंड सेल से नहीं करना, इनके स्पेलिंग का थोड़ा सा फर्क है आपस में। जो लैंग एंड सेल है, दे आर प्रेजेंट इन द tuberculosis, and these Langerhans cells, these are the cells which are normally present in the epidermis. They receive the antigen, then they process it, and then present it to the, this is the lymphoid cell. So actually these are the antigen presenting cells in the immune system. So in this diagram you can see this keratinous layer, this sebaceous glands, sweat glands, and other cells which are LC, it is marked by the Langerhans cells. So that is the basal layer. So these are the melanocytes. These are the Langerhans cells. These are the dendritic cells, blood vessels. ये dermis में mast cell ऐसी तरह, and that is the view of this histology of the skin. It also contains a Merkel cell. Merkel cell, these are the less than 1%, and they are located into the basal layer of the skin, mucous membrane, and they function as the mechanoreceptor. These are the tactile mechanoreceptor. So the basal cell is responsible for the epidermal dermal adherence, and probably the micromolecular filter. It is also major site of the immunoglobulin localization. इसमें हम बाद में ये some immune disorder पढ़ेंगे स्किन में, तो वहाँ पे you will find this deposition of immunoglobulin. उनकी deposition कैसे होती है, उनका क्या पैटर्न होता है, so that will decide about the diagnosis of the disease. So that is the portion basal layer where the immunoglobulins are located. इसको हम special stain से stain करते हैं, तो वहाँ इनका different pattern बनता है, and then we are able to diagnose these disorder. तो ये हिस्टोलॉजी मैं आपको इसलिए बता रहा हूँ कि ये इसका डायग्नोसिस में भी रोल है। आपको पता होगा कि बेसल सेल लेयर में इम्यूनोग्लोबुलिन लोकेटेड होती हैं, तो देन यू आर बेटर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड these lesions. Coming to the dermis, dermis is this epidermis or reticular dermis, both they are composed of this collagen. उसके बाद there are the epidermal adnexa. So they include this modified keratinized structures, these nails, hairs, sebaceous gland, eccrine and appropriate glands. So these glands are specifically, they are located in the hairy area like this axilla, anogenital area, nipple and the areola. Then the dermis also contains these blood vessels, nerves, lymphatics, muscle cells and mast cells. So that was all about this histology and brief about the function of the skin. इसमें आपको याद रखने वाली बात यही है कि स्किन में डर्मस और एपिडर्मस होती है। एपिडर्मस की 4 लेयर है और डर्मस की 2 लेयर है। डर्मस इज कंपोज्ड ऑफ दिस कोलेजन और एपिडर्मस, इसमें जो मेन फंक्शन इसके जो मेलानिन का आ गया और विटामिन डी का, मेलानिन एक्ट एज द सन स्क्रीन. So before going into the diseases of the skin, so there are certain terminologies which which are used in the both by the dermatologist and the dermatopathologist. Dermatopathologist इसको पैथोलॉजिस्ट जो कि स्किन डिजीज को रिपोर्ट करते हैं उसको हम we call as the dermatopathologist. So these are the terminology which are used by the both type of the consultant and स्किन को पढ़ने के लिए these terminology बहुत जरूरी है. You must understand this terminology. अब बेहतर है कि आपके पास बुक्स हैं, बुक्स को ना ये मेरे जो भी लेक्चर होगा दीज आर फ्रॉम द राउंड, उसमें कोई एक्स्ट्रा कोई चीज हो सकता है, कोई ये फोटोग्राफ डिफरेंट मोस्ट में, बट ये ऑलमोस्ट द सेम. आप बुक सामने रख लेंगे तो इट विल बी इजी. आप टिक ना करते जाएं जो मैं आपको पढ़ा रहा हूँ, क्योंकि स्किन का सारा कोर्स आपके कोर्स में नहीं है, ये सिलेबस में. कुछ कंडीशन है इसमें, जैसे एक्यूट कंडीशन है, कुछ क्रोनिक है, इसी तरह जो मैलिग्नेंट ने उसमें बेसल सेल कार्सिनोमा है, स्क्वेमस सेल कार्सिनोमा है, मेलानोमा है या वार्ड्स है, ये आपके कोर्स में है. बाकी जो जितना बुक में लिखा हुआ है दैट इज नॉट अंडर द योर सिलेबस. सो इसलिए बेहतर ये है कि आप बुक भी सामने रख लें, स्क्रीन को भी देखें, और जो जो चीज़ मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ आपको उसमें ये टिक करते जाए या नोट करते जाए और देखते भी जाए. ये टर्मिनोलॉजी दीज आर इम्पोर्टेंट. इसमें सबसे पहले ये मैक्रोस्कोपिक टर्म हम यूज करेंगे और माइक्रोस्कोपिक. ये टर्मिनोलॉजी मैं आपको जब डिजीज पढ़ाऊंगा तो ये इसमें यूज होंगे. तो आपको अगर ये पता होगा देन यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस डिजीज प्रोसेस. So coming to the macroscopic, इसमें दो टर्मिनोलॉजी है, मैक्रोस्कोपिक एंड माइक्रोस्कोपिक. मैक्रोस्कोपिक यूजुअली दे आर यूज्ड बाय द डर्मेटोलॉजिस्ट, जो स्किन स्पेशलिस्ट होता है, क्योंकि वो जब लीजन डिस्क्राइब करेगा तो वो टर्मिनोलॉजी यूज करेगा. माइक्रोस्कोपिक टर्मिनोलॉजी यूजुअली वी यूज इन द रिपोर्टिंग. जब हम केस को रिपोर्ट कर रहे होते हैं अंडर द माइक्रोस्कोप, वो टर्मिनोलॉजी वी यूज इन. So coming to the macroscopic terminology, so first is the macule. What is the macule? Macule is a circumscribed lesion of 5 millimeter in diameter, characterized by flatness and usually distinguished from the surrounding skin by its coloration. So it is a discolored area. So up to 5 millimeter. इसका साइज लेस देन 5 मिलीमीटर या 5 मिलीमीटर. ये फ्लैट होगा. इसका जो सरफेस लेवल विल बी सेम एज दैट ऑफ सराउंडिंग स्किन. ये रेज्ड एरिया नहीं होगा. सिर्फ फर्क सराउंडिंग स्किन और इस मैक्यूल में सिर्फ फर्क दैट विल बी ऑफ द डिस्कलरेशन. इसका कलर डिफरेंट होगा दैट फ्रॉम द सराउंडिंग स्किन. उसको हम मैक्यूल कहते हैं. यही चीज सिमिलर चीज मैक्यूल इफ इट बिकम मोर देन 5 मिलीमीटर. बाकी उसकी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर वही होंगे जो कि मैक्यूल के हैं, फ्लैट होगा, लेकिन सिर्फ इसका साइज ज्यादा होगा, बाकी ये डिस्कलर्ड होगा. उसको हम पैच कहते हैं. वी कॉल मैक्यूल व्हेन इट साइज इज लेस देन discolored area less than 5 millimeter. It is called the macule. And patch is more than 5 millimeter. इसमें आप याद रखिए ये 5 की फिगर दैट इज बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट. बाकी भी जो लीन आएंगे उसमें ये 5 की फिगर जो है दैट विल बी लिबरली यूज्ड. So in this diagram you can see this. That is a macule. If you see the color of the surrounding skin is different from that of this area. So that is the macule. इसका कलर डिफरेंट है और ये रेज लीजन नहीं लग रहा. ठीक है, इट इज लेवल विद सरफेस. दैट इज अ पैच. अब पैच देखिए इसका कलर डिफरेंट है और एरिया ज्यादा है 5 मिलीमीटर से. सो इसको वी कॉल इट इज ए पैच. Then is a papule. What is a papule? Papule is a elevated dome shape or flat top lesion 5 millimeter or less. So it is a elevated lesion, dome shape. इसमें भी 5 की फिगर यूज होती है. It is less than 5 millimeter. And plaque उसको कहेंगे जब it is more than 5 millimeter. So it is elevated, flat top lesion, usually greater than 5 millimeter. So it may be caused by the ये बहुत सारे vacuoles they इकट्ठे हो गए when they unite with each other, coalesce with each other, they can form this plaque. So again the difference is of the size. If vacuole or plaque these are the elevated layer, vacuole elevated नहीं है. You can see that is a little raise from the surrounding skin. So that is the example of the plaque. इसका size आप देखते हैं. That is more than 5 millimeter. ये प्लेक्स हैं जो इनिशियली छोटे थे लेकिन आपस में मिलके दे have formed this plaque. Then the nodule. Nodule is the elevated layer with spherical contour greater than 5 millimeter. So dome-shaped layer which is more than 5 millimeter, it is called the nodule. You can see that is the nodule. It's a dome-shaped layer more than 5 meter. That is the nodule. Then what is vesicle? Vesicle is a fluid-filled raised lesion, 5 millimeter or less. Fluid filled lesion जो के 5 millimeter से कम होगा, that is a vesicle. You can see these are the small vesicle on this cheek of this lady. They are filled with the fluid. That is the higher magnification. You can see it better here. Then bulla. Bulla is same type as a vesicle, लेकिन इसका size बड़ा है. The fluid filled lesion greater than 5 millimeter across. These are called the bulla. So you can see these. These are the bulla. इनका size है ये सेंटीमीटर में, ये मिलीमीटर से 5 millimeter से ज़्यादा है. So these are the fluid filled lesion which are called this bulla. Again, that is the bulla which are on the skin surface. Then what is blister? It is common term, layman term used for the vesicle or the bulla. The patient आपके पास आएगा वो कहेगा ये मुझे स्किन पे ये ब्लिस्टर बने हुए हैं, उसको ये वेजिकल भी हो सकते हैं और कैन भी. Then pustule में ये पस से निकला है, so discrete pus-filled raised lesion. So you can see these are the multiple pustule on this back of this patient. These are the lesion, discrete lesion, which are filled with these pus. Again, these are filled with this lesion, which are filled with the pus. Then the wheel. Wheel is a itchy, transient, elevated lesion with variable blanching and erythema formed as a result of dermal edema. So wheel you can produce by just आप अपने स्किन पे भी स्क्रैच करेंगे ये नेल से या किसी लिटिल शार्प ऑब्जेक्ट से, तो you will find this erythema and little redness and swelling. So that is called the wheel. So it is also a part of this inflammatory process. Scar is a hard plaque of dense fibrotic tissue. स्कार यूजुअली हीलिंग के बाद बनती है, जो भी कोई वुंड होगा, ये सर्जिकल वुंड हो या दूसरा वुंड हो. सो इट इज ए हार्ड प्लेक ऑफ डेंस फाइब्रोटिक टिश्यू कवर्ड बाय द एपिडर्मिस. इसमें मेनली दिस कोलेजन और फाइब्रोटिक टिश्यू होती है, ऊपर जो है थिन एपिडर्मिस होती है. सो एट्रोफी यूजुअली रेफर टू थिनिंग ऑफ द एपिडर्मिस. जब हम ये स्किन में टर्मिनोलॉजी यूज करते हैं तो एट्रोफिक स्किन मीन द एपिडर्मिस इज थिन आउट. सो जो थिन आउट एपिडर्मिस होगी दैट विल बी इजीली रिंकल्ड एंड इट हैज शाइनी सरफेस. So sometimes it is also applied to the dermal and the subcutaneous tissue. with or without the changes in the epidermis. We can use the terminology for the subcutaneous tissue when they become atrophic. So in this diagram, you can see this is the thing of this epidermis, and below that is all collagen. That's a scar tissue. It looks like under this microscope. So, coming to the ulcer, what is ulcer? It is loss of the skin tissue or the substance from the surface downward, leaving an uncovered or denuded wound that is slow to heal. So, ये loss of the skin tissue may be epidermis, dermis या नीचे even ये it can go ये sometime bone भी expose हो जाएगा, उसको भी हम ulcer कहेंगे. इसमें epidermis भी loss हो जाती है and sometime there will be loss of the dermis and subcutaneous tissue. So उसको हम ulcer कहते हैं. Erosion is a superficial denudation of the skin. So erosion और ulcer में ये फर्क है, ulcer deep भी हो सकता है. उसका epidermis dermis दोनों उसमें they can be lost. But erosion में there will be superficial denudation of the skin. So there is a loss of the epidermis only. That is the diagram of the ulcer. You can see this loss of this epidermis and the lower tissue they are exposed. Then what is a fissure? Fissure is a vertical splitting, separation of the skin. Vertical splitting. इसको हम fissure कहते हैं. So जो excoriation और fissure में ये फर्क है. Fissure is a vertical और excoriation is a linear splitting. So इसी तरह the crust is a dried surface of the fluid, often serous, serum, nature with or without tissue tablets. आपने wound अक्सर देखे होंगे कि ये scabs सा बन जाते हैं, yellowish or yellowish white. So that is the inspissated serum. So that is called the crust. जो healing wound के ऊपर बन जाता है, उसको हम crust कहते हैं. Then the scale is a thin flake of the epithelium. Usually it is composed of the stratum corneum or the corneal layer, जो keratinized layer है, उसके जो flakes जो separate हो जाते हैं, उसको हम scale कहते हैं. Lichenification is the thickening of the skin and an increase of the skin marking. So thickening of the skin is called the lichenification. So onycholysis is the separation of the nail blade from the nail bed. So जो nail जो है पूरे का पूरा अगर वो separate हो जाए, so that is terminology is called the onycholysis. So that are about the macroscopic, and then coming to the microscopic, which are usually used by the histopathologist. So that is the hyperkeratosis. Hyperkeratosis means the thickening of the stratum corneum, often associated with the qualitative abnormality of the keratin. So qualitatively, this keratin is the abnormal. So this the stratum corneum जो ऊपर वाली layer है that becomes thick. Parakeratosis means it is a mode of keratinization characterized by the retention of the nuclei in the stratum corneum. So on mucous membrane parakeratosis is normal. Normal ये होता है कि basal layer से जब ये cornified layer बनती है, जैसे जैसे ये squamous cell ऊपर जाते हैं cornified layer की तरफ, उनमें nuclei they disappear. Usually they disappear. अगर abnormality होगी तो उसमें nuclei they will be retained और उस condition को we label it as a parakeratosis. This is the hyperkeratosis. You can see thickening of this pinkish layer. That is the keratin layer, which has become thickened. That is the parakeratosis. इसमें there will be there is a retention of the nuclei. यहाँ पे आप इतने अच्छे नजर नहीं आए, लेकिन यहाँ पे ये ब्लीच थोड़े एरिया हैं, इसमें ये nuclei of the this squamous cell, they are still present, so that is called the this parakeratosis. Then the hypergranulosis is the hyperplasia of the stratum granulosum, often due to the intense rubbing. So it is the thickening of the granular layer. Then the acanthosis is a diffuse epidermal hyperplasia. So when there is hyperplasia of the epidermis due to the skin diseases, we label it as a acanthosis. Then is a papillomatosis. So surface elevation caused by the hyperplasia and the enlargement of the contiguous dermal papilla. You know that normally dermal papillae they are present, but they are not so prominent in normal skin. So in some conditions they become more prominent. डाउन ग्रोथ उनकी ज़्यादा हो जाती है. So this condition is called the papillomatosis. So the acanthosis, you can see the thickening of the skin. ये basal cell layer से लेके ऊपर तक आप देखें. So इसकी layer ज़्यादा है and that become thickened. Then the dyskeratosis. It is the abnormal keratinization occurring prematurely within the individual cell or the group of cells below the stratum granulosum. Keratosis और dyskeratosis को आपने you must differentiate. So जो parakeratosis is the retention of the nuclei और जो dyskeratosis है that is the abnormal keratinization. इसमें कि keratinization वक्त से पहले squamous cell में that will become evident. उसको हम dyskeratosis कहते हैं. Then the acantholysis is the loss of intercellular connection resulting in loss of the cohesion between the keratinocytes. ये कुछ क्लस्टर डिसऑर्डर है या कोलस डिसऑर्डर है जिसमें कि नॉर्मली ये जो स्ट्रेटम कार्नियम सेल है ये स्क्वेमस सेल दे आर अटैच्ड विद ईच अदर विद द डेस्मोसोम. इंटरसेलुलर ब्रिजेस होते हैं. जब ये ब्रिजेस किसी वजह से भी वीक हो जाए या डिसॉल्व हो जाए तो ये सेल आपस में ये जो स्क्वेमस सेल सेपरेट हो जाएंगे. उसको हम इस कंडीशन को एक्यांथोलाइसिस कहते हैं. अगर हमें सेपरेट सेल से फॉर एग्जांपल हमने ब्लिस्टर या बुला देखा है या वेजिकल उसके अंदर सेल पड़े हुए हैं स्क्वेमस सेल, इस कंडीशन को हम एक्यांथोलाइसिस कहते हैं क्योंकि उसमें सेल जो है ये स्क्वेमस सेल सेपरेट हो गए. Then the spongiosis, it is the intercellular edema of the epidermis. So spongiosis is the intercellular edema of the cell के दरमियान there will be more water, so that is called the spongiosis. So that is acantholysis. You can see that this cell they are not very much adherent to each other. यहाँ पे तो ये बिल्कुल आपस में ये देखिए cell these are separated. So these are squamous cells which are separated from each other. That condition is called the acantholysis. So that is a spongiosis. Spongiosis means there is edema in between this epidermal cell. Fluid in between these cells. Then hydropic swelling. It is the or ballooning. It is the intracellular edema of the keratinocyte. ये सेल के अंदर अगर if there is a fluid or the water, उसको हम hydropic swelling कहते हैं. Hydrops इस water से और swelling of the cell due to the water. So intracellular edema of the keratinocyte. So it is usually seen in this viral infection. Is a viral pathic effects. Then the exocytosis. Exocytosis mean infiltration of the epidermis by inflammatory or the circulating blood cells. So when there is a spill of these inflammatory cells from the vessel into the epidermis, इसमें कोई भी सेल हो सकता है, lymphocyte हो सकता है, eosinophil, neutrophil. इस condition को we call it as the exocytosis. So that is the hydropic swelling. You can see the cells which have the fluid inside. ये सारे सेल अपने न्यूक्लियस एक साइड पे होंगे So that is the ballooning of this keratinocyte. Then vacuolization, formation of the vacuole within or adjacent to the cells, often referred to basal cell membrane zone area. So basal cell membrane की zone में area में ये vacuole they are formed. So that is called the vacuolization. Then is the lentiginous, referring to a linear pattern of the melanocyte proliferation with the epidermal basal cell layer. Lentiginous melanocytic hyperplasia can occur as a reactive change or as a part of a neoplasm of the melanocyte. तो इसमें हम पढ़ेंगे ये इसमें ये कंपाउंड निवस या इसमें बाद में जब मेलानोमा, तो ये एपिडर्मस में जो मेलानिन सेल या कोई भी सेल है, इसकी दो टाइप ऑफ ग्रोथ है, एक होती है लेंटिजिनस और एक होती है वर्टिकल. लेंटिजिनस इज अलोंग द एपिडर्मस, जो एपिडर्मस की सरफेस है उसके साथ साथ जो ग्रोथ होगी that is called the lentiginous. Vertical growth वो होती है which goes down toward the dermis, उसको हम vertical growth कहते हैं. ये दो पैटर्न है ग्रोथ के, स्पेशली ये मेलानोमा में you will see it. So lentiginous and this vertical growth. So lentiginous हम कहते हैं growth को which is along the surface or the linear in the linear pattern. So that was all about this macroscopic and the microscopic terminology. So then coming to the inflammatory condition, इसमें inflammatory condition आप सारी नहीं पढ़ेंगे, इसमें कुछ acute inflammatory condition है और कुछ chronic है. Acute में we will look into this urticaria, acute eczematous dermatitis and erythema multiforme. Chronic में हम देखेंगे that is the psoriasis. So ये चीजें वही मैं वही आपको बता रहा हूँ that which are written in your UHS syllabus. So coming to the acute inflammatory, this dermatosis, first that is the urticaria. So urticaria, it's also called the hives. So it is a common disorder. It's common skin disorder, and it is usually caused by the degranulation of this mast cell. So it is usually characterized by the pruritic edematous plaque. आप ये देखें, आप लफ्ज़ प्लेक आ गए, आपको प्लेक की डेफिनेशन आएगी, you will be able to understand, इसको समझ आएंगे कि ये प्लेक क्या है. प्लेक है, इसमें बील भी आ गए, तो इसीलिए मैं कहता हूँ ये टर्मिनोलॉजी आप आज इसको जरूर देखें, तब ये आप चीज़ों को आपको समझ आएगी. सो इट इज़ कैरेक्टराइज्ड बाय दी प्रोटिक. प्रोटिक मीन दैट इट विल बी, वो क्या कहते हैं इसको, खारिश जिसको कहते हैं, ये रीमा उसमें होगा, एंड इट विल लाइक ए प्लेग एंड ए वी शेप. सो इट्स मोस्ट कॉमनली अकर ऑन द ट्रंक. इट अकर एनी साइड, किसी जगह पर भी हो सकती है, बस ये, लेकिन ये कॉमन साइड जो है इसकी, दैट इज द ट्रंक, लो एक्सट्रीमिटी एंड द ईयर्स. Any age is affected, but usually common in between the 20 and the 40 years. So their lesion varies from a small papule to a large edematous plaque, and individual lesion may unite with each other. Alcoholism either to form annular. Annular means round, or linear means straight पैटर्न. सो कोई पैटर्न इसमें हो सकता है, एनुलर हो सकता है, सर्कुलर हो सकता है, और इसमें लीनियर पैटर्न हो सकता है इसमें. सो दैट इज अबाउट इट्स अपीयरेंस. सो कमिंग टू इट्स पैथोजेनेसिस. सो it is the most commonly the result of antigen induced release of the vasoactive mediator from the mast cell. आपको बताया कि जैसे that is the, it is occur due to the degranulation of the mast cell. And actually ये type 1 hypersensitivity reaction आपने पढ़े हैं इसमें 3rd year में, type 1, 2, 3 and 4. So that is example of the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. तो इसके तीन पैटर्न है इसके पैथोजेनेसिस के डिफरेंट कंडीशन डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द जो कॉजेज है उसमें। एक तो इसमें मास सेल डिपेंडेंट, आईजीई डिपेंडेंट। ये इसमें दोनों मास सेल पे भी डिपेंड करेगा ये मैकेनिज्म और आईजीई। So urticaria of this type follow exposure to the many different type of the antigen. They may be the pollens, foods, drug, insect venom, and it is a typical example of the this type 1 immediate hypersensitivity reaction. Then is the mast cell dependent, IgE independent. So this subset results from the substances that directly incite the degranulation of the mast cell, such as the opiate, certain antibiotics, curare, and the radiographic contrast media. तो अब वार्ड में भी तो इतना ज़्यादा काम नहीं करें। जब आप काम करेंगे वार्ड में तो कुछ एंटीबायोटिक जैसे पेनिसिलिन है या कुछ और एंटीबायोटिक होंगे, तो उनको इंजेक्ट करने से पहले दे गिव द दिस टेस्ट डोज। वो टेस्ट डोज इसीलिए देते हैं कि इसमें देखें इसमें कोई टाइप 1 हाइपरसेंसिटिविटी तो इस ड्रग के बारे में तो नहीं है। इसी तरह आपने ये रेडियोलॉजी डिपार्टमेंट में देखा होगा, ये सीटी स्कैन या एमआरआई करते हैं, कंट्रास्ट के साथ भी करते हैं, विदाउट कंट्रास्ट के साथ। जब हम कंट्रास्ट के साथ करते हैं तो उसमें वी गिव द दिस डाई देते हैं उसमें रेडियोग्राफिक मटेरियल, तो उसको भी टेस्ट करते हैं इंजेक्ट करने से पहले। सो अगेन उसमें बाद है ये जो रिएक्शन पेशेंट में हो जाता है कि जब ये इंजेक्शन में इंजेक्ट करते हैं, so that is the again this mast cell dependent IgE independent type 1 this hypersensitivity reaction. That is the example of this second example, second pathogen. The third one is the mast cell independent and IgE independent. इसमें ना mast cell का रोल है और IgE दोनों का रोल नहीं है इसमें। So this urticaria are triggered by the local factor that increase vascular permeability. So one form is initiated by exposure to the drugs or the chemical such as aspirin that inhibits cyclooxygenases and the lactonic acid production. So yes, so cyclooxygenase and lactonic acid production में inhibit हो जाएगा, so that will lead into the this type 1 reaction. उसमें second form is that is the hereditary angiouretic edema. So इसमें C1 inhibitor का role है इसमें. So C1 is the complement. So initially the complement mediated reaction में certain chemicals they are released. So जब इसमें उस chemical को inhibit करने के लिए there are C1 inhibitors. So when there is a deficiency of these inhibitors, that will again lead into the this type 1 hypersensitivity reaction or the urticaria. So this disease has three patterns of pathogenesis. That is the mast cell dependent, IgE dependent, then the mast cell dependent and IgE independent. और तीसरा जो है इसमें ना मास्ट सेल का रोल है ना आईजी का रोल, मास्ट सेल डिपेंडेंट एंड आईजीई इंडिपेंडेंट. So coming to the morphology, there will be small papule to plaque. So papule और plaque ये दोनों raised area. ये both these are the raised lesion. Macule जो है that is not raised lesion. तो इसमें raised lesion बनेंगे papule और plaque. लीनियर फॉर्म होगा या आरसी फॉर्म पैटर्न इसमें. तो सुपरफिशियल पेरिवेस्कुलर इन्फ्लेमेटरी इन्फिल्ट्रेट मेनली मोनोन्यूक्लियर सेल्स. तो इसमें मेनली दीज इन्फिल्ट्रेट इज दैट इज ऑफ द लिम्फोसाइट और द मोनोन्यूक्लियर सेल. सुपरफिशियल डर्मल एडिमा एंड कोलेजन बंडल्स आर वाइडली स्पेस्ड. Dilated superficial lymphatic channel and no epidermal change. So these are the some of the features of this histological feature will be which will be present in the this lesion. So in this diagram you can see this. These are the grass feature. So you can see these epidermis lesion. These are the flakes are the. These are the papules. These are the reddish lesion on the both this extremity. That is the histological picture. So you can see these are the vessels. Probably these are lymphatics which are dilated. और इनके आगे पीछे जो cell हैं, these are the lymphocytic infiltrate. And collagen, you can see the collagen is not compact. The collagen is separated from each other. और इसका एक typical feature है कि ये you will not find any change in the epidermis. इस condition में epidermis में change नहीं होगी. The change will be downward. So that is the one of the characteristic feature of this condition. So that was all about this lesion. Then coming to the next lesion, that is the acute eczematous dermatitis. So it is one of the most common skin disorder. So eczema is a Greek word. Eczema mean to boil over. इसका जो लफ्ज़ी मतलब है, so it's a Greek word. So it is characterized by the red papulovesicular. अब आपको पेप्यूल की डेफिनेशन भी आनी चाहिए, वेजिकुलर की भी आनी चाहिए और ब्रेस्ट का भी पता रहना चाहिए. Then you will be able to understand. So it is a papule raised lesion. वेजिकल उसको कहते हैं जिसमें फ्लूइड हो. क्रस्ट तब बन जाती है जब ये वेजिकल रप्चर होगा, उसके बाद उसमें क्रस्ट बन जाएगी. So it is characterized by the red papulovesicular oozing and the crusting lesion, which later on develop into raised scaly plaques due to the acanthosis and the hyperkeratosis. अब इसमें देखिए, इसमें ये जो तीन लाइनें या 4 लाइनें छोटी सी हैं, इसमें सारी टर्मिनोलॉजी पेप्यूल भी यूज हुआ है, इसमें वेजिकल भी यूज हुआ है, लफ्ज़ क्रस्ट भी यूज हुआ है, प्लेग भी, एक्यांथोसिस भी है, हाइपरकेराटोसिस. एक्यांथोसिस मीन के एपिडर्मिस की लेयर उसकी थिकन हो जाएगी. हाइपरकेराटोसिस के उसमें केराटिनस लेयर दैट विल बी द थिकन. So that is it is characterized by the red papulovesicular oozing and crusted lesion, which later on develop into raised scaly plaque, acanthosis and hyperkeratosis. So etiologically we can divide this acute eczematous dermatitis into the two, this due to the external causes and due to the internal causes. External is usually due to the application of some antigen, external antigen. It may be anything, it may be the IV poison or some other antigen. Or internal, it can be the circulating antigen, it can be food, or it can be the drugs, antigen from the food or the drugs. So clinically, there will be pruritic edematous oozing plaque, vesicle and bulla. वेजिकल वही छोटा साइज का होगा, बुला जो 5 मिलीमीटर से ज़्यादा होगा. So bacterial infection can occur, forming yellow crust and scale, and epidermis will become thick. तो स्कार फॉर्मेशन की वजह से या हाइपरकेराटोसिस की वजह से epidermis that will become thick. So that how it will present as a clinical. So based on the initiating factor, we can classify this acute eczematous dermatitis into this allergic, contact, atopic, drug-related, photoeczematous, and the gram-irritated. So these are the 5 types according to the initiating factor. We can divide it into 5 types: allergic, atopic, drug-related, photoeczematous, and the primary irritating dermatitis. So एक्जिमा जो था, ये जो हाइव वाज अ टाइप 1 हाइपर सेंसिटिविटी रिएक्शन. सो ये एक्जिमा इज ए इट इज अ टाइप 4 हाइपर सेंसिटिविटी रिएक्शन. So its pathogenesis is same as that of the type 4 hypersensitivity reaction. So antigens taken up by the dendritic cells. जो आपको बताया dendritic cells, they are present in the epidermis. So these are the antigen presenting cells. So antigen is taken by the dendritic cell, presented to the native CD4 cell of the draining lymph node. तो ये डेंड्रिटिक सेल वहाँ से माइग्रेट करके ये जो ड्रेनिंग लिम्फ नोड है वहाँ पे जाएंगे एंड दे विल प्रेजेंट दिस एंटीजन टू द CD4 सेल्स जो लिम्फ नोड में होंगे, which are activated to form these effectors and the memory cell. तो वहाँ पे ये जब प्रेजेंट करेंगे तो ये इफेक्टर सेल और मेमोरी सेल जो है दे विल बी फॉर्म. नेक्स्ट टाइम जब ये एंटीजन दोबारा जो पेशेंट फॉर एग्जांपल एक दफ़ा तो एंटीजन आया, लैंगरेन सेल ने उसको प्रेजेंट कर दिया लिम्फोसाइट को इन द लिम्फ नोड एंड वहाँ उसकी मेमोरी क्रिएट होगी उसमें. और नेक्स्ट टाइम व्हेन देयर इज अ री-एक्सपोजर ऑफ द एंटीजन, दीज मेमोरी सेल माइग्रेट टू द अफेक्टेड साइट. जब दोबारा एंटीजन आएगी तो यही मेमोरी सेल है वो अफेक्टेड साइट पे चले जाएंगे. दे आर डायरेक्ट टू द पोस्ट कैपिटरी वेन्यूल्स. They will go through the blood vessel. जो वहाँ पे post capillary venule, वहाँ पे they will act against antigen and they will release cytokine, chemokine, resulting in the extravasation and recruitment of the inflammatory cell. That is the reason we find these mononuclear infiltrate in that area due to this. Due to the release of cytokine and the chemokine, they will cause an inflammatory reaction. So this process occurs within 24 hours and is responsible for the initial erythema and this pruritus. So that is the simple mechanism of this type 4 hypersensitive reaction. This antigen is presented by the Langerhans cell to the lymphocyte in the lymph node, where the memory is created. Memory cell they are present. So next time when this antigen comes in contact with the skin, these memory cells they migrate to the site of the contact, and then they will release cytokine and the chemokine, resulting in this production of these lymphocyte and other inflammatory cells, and they will create the lesion. Coming to its morphology, so there is spongiosis. Spongiosis, जैसे आपको बताया, it is a edema in the epidermis, in between the cell. Then the intraepidermal vesicle, they will be formed. Superficial perivascular inflammatory infiltrate, lymphocyte eosinophil. So the pattern of the inflammatory infiltrate provide clue to the underlying cause. Deep और superficial perivascular infiltrate वो drug related dermatitis में होगा. इसके आपको बताया था different causes. Drug related होगा तो superficial और deep दोनों जगह infiltrate होगा. और अगर contact antigen होंगे जो कि सिर्फ epidermis में contact करेंगे, then we will have this superficial dermis में वहाँ पे infiltration होगा. Then there will be again acanthosis, epidermal thickening and hyperkeratosis. So in this diagram you can see how this acute eczematous dermatitis progress. In the A you can see that is the blood vessel. Blood vessel here you will find this infiltrate. अगली स्टेज में इन्फिल्ट्रेट ज़्यादा हो जाएगा और ये एपिडर्मिस में एडीमा और ये वेसिकल बनना शुरू हो जाएंगे और इसके ऐसा ऐसा एपिडर्मिस की थिकनिंग शुरू हो जाएगी. यहाँ पे ग्रेड सी में जाके मोर सेल्स, मोर वेसिकल्स एंड ग्रेटर थिकनिंग. यहाँ पे फिर अगेन फोर्थ पे जाके हाइपर कैरेटोसिस हो जाएगा एंड जो फाइनल स्टेज है ई में देयर विल बी स्केल फॉर्मेशन, मोर keratin formation, vesicle only इसमें plus infiltration. So these are the 5 stages how this acute eczematous dermatitis is progress. So any question? Next, we will erythema multiforme. We will continue in the next lecture on this Tuesday. Any query? Any question? You can ask, and if you cannot understand, you can ask question, any question. But be prepared. ये terminology ये कल तक आपको याद होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि next lecture है, तो उसमें जो भी disease process आपको पढ़ानी है, ये terminology microscopic and macroscopic. You must remember these. So that is all about today. If you don't have any question, so I am going to finish it. Thank you.